Alright, so I wanted to give an overview of what it's like to race on Zwift if you're an average cyclist, so someone who rides maybe a lot but is not a pro and maybe doesn't race all that much in real life, which is currently where I'm at. So I race on Zwift a fair amount, and this is kind of what it's like. So if you've never raced on Zwift before, if you look in the top left-hand corner there, that's the watts. So that's the amount of power that you're putting out. And then below that is your heart rate. So currently my heart's at about 130 as I'm warming up for this race. And then below that is your cadence, and that's how fast you're turning the pedals. The top right hand corner is the name of this particular race, which is the Tour for All 2020 Stage 3 race, and the map is the Everything Bagel, which is a map based on Central Park, which is kind of ironic because I was racing from my pain cave / kitchen in Brooklyn, New York, because I'm quarantined and I'm not supposed to be out there in Central Park in real life. So the 5 seconds left and the race is going to start, and in Zwift races the start's always real fast, and so you got to put a lot of power down right away if you don't want to get dropped. So you can see my watts in the top left hand corner just shot up to like 400. If you look on the right, in highlighted in blue, that's me, so G from NYC, and that also shows you how many watts per kilo I'm putting out. So the watts, as you can see, went way up, and then on the right, highlighted in blue, is a metric that is based on how many watts per kilo, so based on my weight I'm actually putting out, and that's a very important number in Zwift. So it's a little hard to see me right now, but I'm on the bike that has light blue wheels. So the arrows are pointing to me right now, and I got a white helmet on, and again like a light blue. It's the Tron bike, the Zwift concept bike, and luckily for me I picked a color that nobody else was picking during this race. And so, I'm trying to, at this point in the race, things are started, but I'm trying to maintain, everybody else's speed. I'm trying to make sure I'm not getting dropped. So it's very easy to get dropped right away in a race like this. This is also the A group, so this is like the top group. And I don't always belong in the A group. I pretty much belong in a B group, but the way that they had this race divided up, I kind of had no choice but to be in the A group. So at this point, I'm in 13th place, 11th place, or whatever, and I'm doing okay. But I also know that most likely I'm going to not be able to hang with the fastest guys in this race, because like I said, it's an A race, so it's the top group. And there's going to be some real fast guys in here who race a lot more than me and who might be quite a bit younger than me too. So things are going okay right now, but I know this course a little bit, and this part's based on Central Park, and if you've ever ridden in Central Park or been in Central Park, you recognize it immediately. But they when they designed this course, they also added a bunch of sort of like sci-fi elements where you eventually start going up above Central Park, and that's about to happen. So we're going to take a right turn right here, and we're going to go up on these sort of futuristic roads. And this is a major climb. I believe this is called Central Park KOM, King of the Mountain. I think it's called something like that. So this is going to be a big climb, and my heart rate's getting up there. If you look at my heart rate, top left-hand corner, it's about 168, and it's going to keep going up into the 170s. And my max heart rate is like 190, 191, but I rarely get there. So if my heart rate's up in the 170s, I'm hurting. So it's going up. And so I'm basically at the back end of this small group now, and I was able to hang with this group for a while, and I was doing all right. But right around here is where things start falling apart. So you can see there's a split. So there's a group up ahead that's opening up a gap, and when a gap opens up, it gets to be very, very difficult to catch back up because there's drafting, and so there's the principles of drafting become a factor. So if you find yourself like I'm finding myself right now in this race, which is that I'm not able to be right on a guy's wheel, I'm working that little bit harder right now. So if you're able to stay on a guy's wheel, then you're drafting them. And just like in real life and cycling, when you're drafting someone, you're putting out a little tiny bit less effort. So if you are not drafting someone, you're having to put out a little bit more effort. So right now, these guys are getting away from me, and I'm like, shit, this, this is it. This is not a gap that I'm probably going to be able to close. I tried, and I think right around here, I'm starting to kind of catch back up a little bit, but I was never able to. So we made it over that climb, and I basically managed to group up with these two other riders right here. And so now it's the three of us, and there's a group up ahead. So if you can see, if you look on the right, I'm in 24th. So right now the three of us are in 23rd, 24th, and 25th place, and the group that's up ahead is like 20 seconds up ahead. And then after a while, some other riders catch up to us. So now this group is getting a little bit bigger, and now we're like 5 to 7 riders behind the lead group, and that's good. It's good to have a slightly bigger group because now we can all work together. So there's like 5 to 7 of us, and we're going to keep working together for pretty much half of this race or so. And the next thing that happens with about 10 miles left is that there's another big climb. So it's not the exact same climb, it's in a different direction. But I remember this climb, and I know that it's significant. So right here, I'm telling myself, like, shit, you gotta make sure that you don't get dropped on this climb. Because if I get dropped now, I'm gonna keep falling back. And there's 51 riders, and this is like mid-pack. So this is 26th, 25th place out of 50 riders, and I'm trying to make sure that I finish at least in the top half. So I started doing okay, which was a little unexpected. So this part right here was kind of the highlight, sadly enough, of my race, because I was actually able to get, basically, I got to the top of this climb pretty much in first or second place out of this group. So that kind of let me know that, okay, not all was lost. I was maybe able to finish in the top 20, because right now I'm in 19th place, and there's like a little bit of a gap opening up to the guys behind. And I'm looking at this guy up ahead, and I'm like, oh, I'm not catch up to him, get up to 18th place, and then maybe try to maintain that for the next 9 miles, which is very unlikely, but you never know. So I'm able to catch up to this guy and basically crest this climb in first place. But then on the downhill, as you can see here, a bunch of riders catch up on the downhill and the flats. So now we got a group of, I think, 7. And now this was funny because I'm looking up ahead and I'm like, okay, we can either go straight or left here. And I wasn't sure which way we're turning, and I'm like, please don't go left, because left starts going way up. And of course, the course goes left. So now I'm in this group of, I don't know, this is like 10 riders, 8 riders. And now we got another major climb coming up. If you look up to the right, you can see that it just keeps going up and up and up. So now I'm like, all right, well, I was doing all right on that last climb, and maybe I can maintain this climb and at least stay with the front group, or maybe get over this climb in first place. You never know. So I'm giving it my all, putting out like 5 watts, 4 watts, roughly, sometimes down to 3. But I'm actually able to stay in the front of the group right here going up this climb. And then this is one of those climbs that's super deceiving, because you get to a part where you think you've reached the top, and then it just keeps going up. So here I was like, oh man, let's go, I hope we go right, which doesn't go up. But of course we didn't go right, we went straight, which does go up. So we keep climbing, and we got to this part where I was basically in second here, and I thought, okay, so this is the summit, this is the crest. And of course it wasn't. So this flattens out here, but right around this corner on the right, it actually starts going back up. But you know, this course it's pretty cool. You can see it's got this sort of like Fifth Element sci-fi vibe about it. So this, finally, you can see if you look at my face, bottom left, you can see I'm hurting. Just giving it my all here. But this was the actual top of the climb. And now I'm looking at the times of the guys that are behind, and there's a gap that's opened up. So there's like 2 seconds, 4 seconds, and then 16 seconds to some of the guys in the back. So now I'm thinking like, all right, cool. So I'm in 18th place, and if the guy that's behind me, the guy ahead of me, and there's like 1 or 2 other guys, if the 5 of us form a little group, a little gruppetto, as we call it in cycling, on the way down, maybe we can maintain that all the way to the finish. So then we could keep that other group behind us, and that would give me a better chance to finish, you know, in the top 20. And that's actually what happened. So here on the downhill, these 2 guys caught up, and I think we eventually bridged up to the guy up ahead, and then there was 5 of us, and we were able to use that to our advantage and ride together as a small group. And so, yeah, we did a pretty good job here on this descent, just kind of working together, you know, each of us taking a pull. And then this is with 0.3 miles left to the finish. So this group stayed together, and now I'm like, okay, I got to make sure that none of these guys takes a flyer and goes off by themselves. And so, of course, that's what happened. Right away, right here, there's a guy who takes off. And I'm not able. I'm cooked right here. You can see my body language. I just really did not have a sprint in me, so I wasn't able to get up in front of these guys. And what's worse is this guy behind me came and like sprinted just ahead of me at the finish. So I finished in last place of that group, and I think in the end I got something like 17th place overall. All right, thanks for watching.